Linda Thompson had always been the kind of woman who fixed things. As a retired nurse from Seattle's bustling Harborview Medical Center, she'd spent 35 years mending broken bodies and soothing shattered spirits. Her hands, calloused from years of IV insertions and compressions, were now idle in retirement, but her heart still beat for those she loved. Chief among them was her only daughter, Rachel, a bright-eyed 32-year-old with dreams as vast as the Puget Sound. For the past 5 years, Linda had poured her savings into Rachel's ambitions. It started small, a few $100s here for laptop upgrade, 1,000 there for software subscriptions. Rachel's boyfriend, Ethan, a slick-talking entrepreneur with a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow and a wardrobe of hoodies emblazoned with tech slogans, had convinced her they were on the cusp of something big. An innovative app, he'd say, eyes gleaming. It's going to revolutionize how people connect in the digital age. Linda didn't fully understand the jargon, APIs, user acquisition, beta testing, but she understood hope. She'd wired them $50,000 in total, skimping on her own comforts to fuel their startup dreams. Her late husband, Tom, a quiet engineer who'd passed from cancer a decade ago, had left her a modest nest egg. She saw it as her duty to invest in Rachel's future. Seattle's rainy mornings suited Linda's routine. She'd sip coffee from her favorite mug, the one Rachel had painted as a child, and scroll through her phone, waiting for updates. Rachel's texts were sporadic, often laced with requests. "Mom, we need $2,000 for server costs. This could be the breakthrough." Linda always obliged, transferring funds via her banking app while the drizzle pattered against her window. In return, she got glimpses of their life, Instagram stories of late-night coding sessions in their cramped Belltown apartment, Ethan's posts about hustle culture with hashtags like startup life and grind mode. But lately, the requests had grown bolder. Last month, Rachel called breathlessly. "Mom, guess what? Ethan proposed. We need help with the ring. It's perfect, but it's $5,000. Linda hesitated for the first time. Her pension check barely covered her own bills after a roof repair from one of Seattle's infamous storms. Still, she sent the money, imagining the sparkle in Rachel's finger and the joy in her eyes. "Send me pictures when you get it," she'd replied, her voice warm with maternal pride. The call that changed everything came on a crisp autumn afternoon. Linda was in her garden, tending to the rhododendrons that bloomed defiantly against the Pacific Northwest chill. Her phone buzzed. Rachel's name lit up the screen. "Mom, guess what? We're married!" Rachel's voice bubbled with excitement. Linda's heart skipped. "Married? When? Oh, honey, that's wonderful. Tell me everything. Did you have a ceremony? I can't wait to see the photos." There was a pause. Then Rachel's tone shifted. Casual and evasive. "It was super intimate, Mom. We eloped in Napa Valley last weekend. Just us, really. We wanted it to be special, you know? No big fuss." Linda froze, her gardening gloves clutched in one hand. Napa Valley. The wine country escape she dreamed of visiting herself but never could afford after funding their ventures. "Just you two? But I thought, the ring, the plans, I would have loved to be there." Ethan's voice chimed in from the background, muffled but audible. "Tell her it was spontaneous." Rachel laughed lightly. "Yeah, we kept it exclusive. Wanted it to be just us. Anyway, gotta run. Love you." The line went dead. Linda stood there, the phone heavy in her palm, as if it carried the weight of her exclusion. She opened Instagram, her fingers trembling. There it was. Photos of rolling vineyards, Rachel in a flowing white dress, Ethan in a linen suit. Toasts with champagne flutes, sunset vows under an arch of grapes. And in the comments, friends gushing, "So romantic! Dream wedding!" But no mention of her. Linda zoomed in on Rachel's hand. The ring she'd paid for gleamed under the California sun. That night, Linda couldn't sleep. The rain hammered her roof like accusations. She tallied it up in her mind. $50,000 gone, plus the ring. Her savings account, once a comfortable buffer, now hovered dangerously low. She'd skipped her annual mammogram to save on copays, eaten canned soup to stretch her grocery budget. And for what? To be sidelined from the most important day in her daughter's life? The next morning, over black coffee, Linda made a decision. No more. She logged into her bank app and canceled the recurring transfer she'd set up for their operational costs. Then she texted Rachel. Congratulations again. I'm happy for you both, but I need to focus on my own finances now. The support stops here. Rachel's response was swift. Mom, what do you mean? We're so close to launching the app. This is bad timing. Linda didn't reply. For the first time in years, she felt a spark of something fierce. Self-preservation. Weeks passed in uneasy silence. Linda threw herself into her hiking club, a group of retirees who traversed the trails of Mount Rainier National Park. The fresh air, the crunch of pine needles underfoot, cleared her mind. She dusted off her old Canon camera, a gift from Tom, and started photographing the misty landscapes, the jagged peaks shrouded in fog, wildflowers defying the elements. It was therapeutic, turning her pain into art. Then the calls started. First, Rachel. Mom, the rent's due and our investor pulled out. Can you spot us $1,500? Just this once? Linda's reply was firm. No, honey, you're adults. Figure it out. Ethan called next, his voice slick as ever. Linda, this is about family. We're building something for all of us. Don't let emotions cloud your judgment. She hung up, her hands shaking, but her resolve intact. The escalation came via certified mail. A letter from a psychiatrist's office scheduling an evaluation for Linda at the request of your family to assess cognitive and emotional health. Linda's blood boiled. She called her friend Marlene from the hiking club, a sharp-witted estate attorney who'd handled Tom's will. They're trying to declare me incompetent, Linda said, her voice cracking. Marlene arrived at Linda's cozy bungalow that evening, armed with coffee and legal pads. This smells like desperation, she said, scanning the letter. They want control of your assets, but we'll fight it. First, let's document everything. Transfers, emails, texts. Together, they pored over bank statements. The $50,000 was itemized, wires for app development, checks for marketing, even petty cash for team-building retreats. Marlene whistled. This isn't support, it's exploitation. As they worked, Linda shared the wedding photos. Marlene's eyes narrowed. They used your money for that ring, then excluded you? That's emotional cruelty. The psychiatrist appointment loomed. Linda attended, Marlene in tow as her advocate. Dr. Harland, a bespectacled man in his 50s, greeted them politely. Your daughter expressed concerns about depression and irrational decisions. Linda sat straight-backed. My only irrational decision was funding their lifestyle for years. Stopping it, that's sanity. The evaluation was thorough. Memory tests, mood assessments. Dr. Harlan nodded thoughtfully. You seem sharp, Mrs. Thompson, but family reports suggest isolation. Isolation? Linda scoffed. I'm in a hiking club. I volunteer at the community garden. They're the ones who pushed me away. Marlene interjected. Doctor, this is about money. Rachel and Ethan are facing eviction because Linda stopped bankrolling them. Dr. Harlan promised a neutral report, but Linda wasn't taking chances. Back home, she dove deeper into their startup. Ethan's LinkedIn boasted about their app, Connect Hub, a social platform for niche communities. But a quick Google search revealed red flags. No beta version, no user reviews, just vague promises. Curious, Linda asked her tech-savvy nephew, Alex, for help. Over Zoom, he dug in. Aunt Lynn, this looks shady. Their domain is registered, but the code on GitHub is copied from open-source projects. And get this, Ethan's been pitching to investors, but there's no prototype. Linda's stomach churned. So it's a scam? Possibly. Let me check filings. Alex uncovered more. Ethan had a history of failed ventures, one ending in a lawsuit for misleading investors. Rachel was listed as co-founder, but her role seemed nominal. The bombshell came when Alex hacked, ethically, into public records. No, he used legal tools. They've been using your money for personal expenses. Credit card statements show trips to Napa, luxury dinners, and the ring, bought from a high-end jeweler but invoiced under the startup as Team Morale Boost. Linda felt betrayed anew, not just excluded, but defrauded. Meanwhile, Rachel escalated. A lawsuit arrived, petition for guardianship claiming Linda's mental decline made her unfit to manage finances. Evidence? The psychiatrist's report, twisted to suggest defensive paranoia, plus affidavits from Ethan's friends alleging erratic behavior. Marlene filed a countermotion. We'll expose the scam in court, but first, gather your allies. The hiking club rallied. They were a diverse bunch. Retired teachers, engineers, artists, all bonded by the trails. At their next meetup at Discovery Park, Linda shared her story over thermoses of tea. She said, "They're trying to take everything." Tears welling. Her friend Sue, a former journalist, hugged her. "We've got your back. I'll dig into Ethan's past." Others offered testimonies. "Linda's the most level-headed person I know," said Jim, a widower. "She leads our hikes with precision." Inspired, Linda channeled her energy into photography. She captured the raw beauty of the Olympics, crashing waves at Ruby Beach, ancient cedars in the Hoh rainforest. Posting on a local art forum, she sold her first print, a misty dawn over Lake Crescent. It was small, $100, but it felt like victory. Court day arrived in downtown Seattle, the courthouse overlooking Elliott Bay. Linda wore her best pantsuit, camera slung over her shoulder like armor. Rachel and Ethan sat across the aisle, avoiding her gaze. Their lawyer, a polished shark named Mr. Vance, painted Linda as unstable, sudden financial cutoff, reclusive hobbies, refusal of help. Marlene countered fiercely. "This is greed, Your Honor. My client funded a fraudulent startup." She presented evidence, bank records, Alex's research, even emails where Ethan bragged about milking the family fund. Rachel took the stand, eyes downcast. "Mom's changed. She's depressed since Dad died. We just want to protect her." Marlene cross-examined. "Protect her? Or her money? You excluded her from your wedding, funded by her savings." Rachel faltered. "It was private. And the app? Where's the prototype?" Ethan squirmed when called. "It's in development." But Marlene unveiled the twist. "Your Honor, Connect Hub is a scam. Investors have filed complaints. Ethan's using shell companies to launder funds, including my clients." The courtroom buzzed. Judge Harlan, no relation to the psychiatrist, leaned forward. "This changes everything." Witnesses followed. Hiking club members vouching for Linda's vitality, Dr. Harlan clarifying his report was misrepresented. Linda testified last, voice steady. "I gave out of love, but love shouldn't bankrupt you. I've rediscovered myself, through friends, through art. That's not decline, that's growth." The judge ruled in Linda's favor, guardianship denied, plus a restraining order against further harassment. "This court sees through the manipulation," he declared. Outside, rain fell softly. Rachel approached, tears streaking her makeup. "Mom, we're sorry. The app, it got out of hand." Linda met her eyes. "Sorry doesn't fix fraud. Get help for yourselves." Ethan slunk away, but Rachel lingered. "Can we talk without the money stuff?" "Maybe someday, but first, I need space." She walked away, joining her hiking friends for celebratory coffee at a nearby cafe. Marlene raised a toast to reclaiming your life. In the months that followed, the expose hit local news. Sue's article in the Seattle Times detailed Ethan's scams, leading to investigations. Rachel filed for divorce, citing deceit. She reached out sporadically, tentative apologies via text. Linda responded kindly, but kept boundaries. Her photography flourished. She exhibited at a Pike Place gallery, selling prints of Seattle's soul, the fairies slicing through fog, cherry blossoms in spring rain. Proceeds went to a charity for elder financial abuse victims. On a clear day, Linda hiked alone to Mount C, camera in hand. At the summit, overlooking the valley, she felt Tom's presence. "I did it," she whispered. "I chose me." The wind carried her words away, but the peace stayed. At 65, Linda wasn't just surviving, she was thriving. Love, she learned, starts with self. And its price? Priceless.